To have such individuals on my board and international advisory board it makes my job each and every day such a pleasure. We're now pleased to show you a special video produced by NBC. Horst did tell you that we gave an award earlier this year, our Distinguished International Leadership Award, shared by George H.W. Bush and Helmut Kohl. Tonight we're giving other awards, but I think what this video captures is that there are actually millions of awards to be given for this period of time. It's an honor to have a journalist and legend here in his own right tonight, Tom Brokaw, who stood in front of the Brandenburg Gate 20 years ago reporting on these historic events. And it's most fitting that after this video he will introduce the Freedom Award to the citizens of Berlin for their courage and determination, and it will be accepted here this evening by Mayor Klaus Wowereit. If you let the video roll, please.
Thank you all very much, Madam Secretary, distinguished guests. It's a real privilege for me to be here. It was 20 years ago that I came to Berlin because there was so much turmoil on the eastern side of the wall. I would like to say that I had a prescient moment. I knew that the wall would come down. Unfortunately, that was not exactly the case, but I did have the good fortune to be the only correspondent really in the world with live satellite capacity that night at the Brandenburg Gate. It was one of the most memorable moments in my journalistic career, and I count it every day of my life as a great privilege to have been there. If you'll permit me just one small moment, however, I would like to tell you that when there are epic events, it doesn't always play out in the way that it may seem when we later present it on television. The East German Guards had assembled on the eastern side of the wall at the Brandenburg Gate, and when the Western students first climbed atop the wall to encourage members of their generation to come across, the East German Guards unleashed their water cannon on them and drove them back, with the exception of one young man who stood there in a leather jacket, his arms outstretched, taking the full force of the water hoses. I said to one of my colleagues, "Go get him, bring him over here, we'll put him on television. He is a symbol of the new post-communist world." I could envision his picture on Time magazine and books being written about him. My colleague came back 30 seconds later, doubled over, and said, "It's not what we think." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "He's a drunk who's been living over here in the forest near the wall. He has no idea what's going on, but he's not had a shower. He's not had a shower in a month, and he's very grateful for the hosing down." It was for me, however, not just a personal and journalistic moment to savor. It was also, as days and months and years went by, something that as a citizen of the world and as a student of my time, I am, after all, a child of the Cold War. It was something for me to savor for other reasons. Because when I reflected on it and remembered, not a tank rolled, not a shot was fired, no one was hanged in the streets of the eastern sector in the days that followed, it was a great tribute to the people who are here tonight in our presence. It was especially a great tribute to Mikhail Gorbachev, to Helmut Kohl, and to President George Bush 41, men whose diplomatic and political sensibilities had been forged in the cruel and devastating realities of World War II and the Cold War. And they found a way through that time peacefully. And I believe in so doing, they left a legacy that is underappreciated now, and it is time for us to remember all that they gave to the world in their management of what could have been one more terrible crisis in our world. And we're here tonight as well to pay tribute to the people of this remarkable city. When you think this vibrant, cosmopolitan city and all that it has been through in the last century, that it was able to absorb their fellow citizens from the East in the gracious manner that it did, it is a tribute to these people that cannot be fully appreciated even now. and it helped launch the political career of the mayor of the city of Berlin. Klaus Wowereit is a young man who was at dinner that night, it turns out, with someone from the GDR who had managed to come into West Berlin. There were some people who were able to come in and go back again. And when he was called by a neighbor of his and told what had happened, he believed, as so many did, that it was a joke. He now, of course, is one of the brightest stars on the German political horizon, and it's my privilege now to introduce to you the mayor of this great city so that he can accept this Courage Award on behalf of all of his constituents. Mr. Mayor.